another thing, if you want to know about why the time is ending. They have made it where there is a overlapping of the dimension as far as the um, form of reality that we're living in. All the dimensions in every, well, I won't say all the dimensions, I think it's just Earth, only Earth, because we're learning some sort of tests. And the reason why I say we are is because I am the majority, due to the fact that I'm an archangel sent to help the majority, and I am in the presence of a body and a vessel that is human, okay? But I am we, as all of us. But again, I am a high being. I am actually becoming a regulator, but I will also always be connected to the people that are learning. So it would be a we as far as everyone, because I'm still in it. I'm still in the matrix, and I'm also able to get out of it. And I also always get out of it. Um, I always get out of it um, in the spiritual realm, because spiritual realm is Nibiru, and it is um, connected to the sun. How we explain that, the whole connection to the sun, and how it's connected to Nibiru, the portal to the higher dimension, whatever, yada yada yada. But anyways, this video is only for what is the reason why the dimensions are collapsing. Well, it's for a reason. It's because the time is ending and the fallen angels have been put into the third dimension intentionally, because the Anunnaki helped the so-called entities that are here to deceive us and harm us. They helped them, and what I mean by help them is they allowed them to let the demons in, because again, it's a test. Marduk. Don't ask me why Marduk created demons, or some majority of not nine-ethered beings that are not black. He created Marduk. I think it's Marduk, one of the Anunnaki. I don't know if it's Marduk, whatever. One of Inlaw, excuse me, Inlaw Inky's brother. Okay. Why did he create the other race? Well, that's just because they have a plan, and that plan is to test the universe, part of the universe, into getting into a higher state of reality, and basically awakening their spiritual minds. They created demons, the majority of people that are not higher entities, because people are void. Some people are not even real. Some people have a conscious that's not even connected to the matrix. It's just a load, or a some sort of um, just some sort of thing that's on this system just to be there, and it has no purpose, and it is not even alive spiritually and mentally. It's just controlled by the matrix with a offloaded system, or a inputted system. They're input, basically. They're not a real entity mentally, and they're real physically, but they're not real mentally. They're controlled. And not the one I think it's 1,444. One, no, it's not 1,441. It's no, it's not 1,444,000. I think, no, 144,000, excuse me, which is, I'm going to tell you what is the basis of that number. Those are the individuals that are chosen on this plane. Well, not plane, but Argatha, basically, is this dimension, or this plane that we live on, is hollow, and it's able to have another entryway into another, I wouldn't say alternate dimension, but it's a connected, it's still connected to our dimension in our plane. I call it a plane, but it is another part of it. But anyways, those are the chosen entities that are going to be put onto Nibiru, the spiritual realm, basically. A spiritual realm that's outside of the matrix. 144,000. That is actually 9. That equals 9. Take away the 4, you have 4, 144, 144,000. Oh, excuse me. You see, I'm thinking too much. 4 plus 4 plus 1 is 9, excuse me. So that's 9 ethered beings. That's just the connection again. It's all connected. Everything is spiritually connected. That equals 9. The ninth dimension, the highest dimension. Those are the number of entities and beings, spiritual entities that are going to be raptured, basically, or on board the Nibiru. Nibiru is not a planet. It is actually a structure that is connected to the sun. The sun is an opening our portal to Nibiru, which is a large dimension, a very large dimension. It is, it has multiple, it's outside of the matrix, basically. It's more real, okay? It's outside of the matrix because it has its own dimension system. And Nibiru is just a structured vessel, physical vessel, used to be able to travel throughout the binary system, which is the universe in the matrix. It's a physical vessel. They could have made it into a spiritual vessel, but there's no need, because each 9 ethered being, any being that are high beings of the Anunnaki, are able to interdimensionally travel. So it's no need to make a vessel that's physical interdimensional when it's not needed for. And also it is for it's there to be able to rapidly travel through the universe, because it's able to it has, it's connected to the matrix. It has I would say interdimensional time traveling technology. It's able to travel at a very fast amount of speed. That's why we see Nibiru sometimes, and sometimes we don't see it. That's just because it's able to time travel, and it has a system where it's able to move around in the matrix really fast. Nibiru is a mothership that is a time traveling mothership, and whatever's in Nibiru is obviously outside of the matrix and is real, because anything that is connecting, which is the sun, all the suns in the star system, because there's multiple suns in the star system, the sun is a portal, and it all connects into whatever Nibiru is. We know Nibiru is a physical thing. We know Nibiru is a spiritual thing, because the sun is spiritual. The sun is not physical, it's spiritual. It is actually very, very, very high in quantum. It's not even matrix. It's something that's beyond our matrix. It's something that's real. The sun is a live entity. That's just because it's a portal. For one, it's a portal, and for two, we don't know what's beyond it, because it is very, very high. It's very high. We can't see it because we have not met our spiritual vessel. But when we do become into our spiritual vessel, we can meet into it. I know what the sun is. I have been into it. It's the spiritual realm, and basically the spiritual realm is the out of the matrix. It's whatever, it's out of the binary simulator. It's everything that's out of the simulation that we're living in. The simulation is quantum mechanics. It is it's basically a computer, and whatever is outside of the quantum mechanics is obviously something real, a little bit realer. I want to say it's beyond real, because we can't really, it's real is real. It's either fake or it's either real, and that's just two concepts, and nothing beyond the real is beyond that, because it's real. We're in the fake version of it, so whatever's out of that is obviously heaven, what we would call heaven, or what we would call something that is real. This plane, this universe is made fake for a reason. It's a test. It's all a test to see if you're able to be in a real environment. You cannot be if you cannot be accepted into a real environment if you have not really gained any sort of recognition of why you're here, or a purpose. Because why would you ask yourself why you're here? Well, you're here because you're going to be tested to see if you're able to be in a realer sector. But a lot of people are not even real. A lot of people are not even real. They're voided. A lot of people are demons. And what I mean by demons is fallen angels, angels that have been kicked out of the higher dimension, because this is the only place that they're able to go and habitat. They usually aim for slowly evolving, as well as timelines that have been just immersed and opened up, because they're usually the more vulnerable places they go to just deprecate and cause traumatic destruction. But again, this is all a test, and it's all for a reason. They're here for a reason. Demons are not even real. They were made by the same Anunnaki. Again, demons, generic entities, they're all voided. I don't even talk to demons. So because that's only if I would allow it to do so, and it will feed off and it will manifest itself into more higher of a presence if I allow it to. So no, fear is an illusion, and it is made up intentionally for you to be tested. And given that, the reason why fallen angels are here, they're here to just deprecate this dimension and give us some knowledge. I've been here 3 times. I am an interdimensional, again, Prasayan, a Hindu god. The Hindu gods are ordained by the Anunnaki. They're Hindus are. I'll give you. I'm gonna put the picture in this video. The Prasayans are not even humans. They're in another timeline, and basically that timeline um, is not human formality. It's not. We would say reptilians are in another timeline, but they're not. Reptilians are just in a closer habitat, but they're just another form of human. They're not allowed into the high presence of because again, the Procyon are 11,000 light years away, and we have to understand that that doesn't exist. The further the place of habitat is, that's where it breaks up to where it is in another dimension, because it is all broken up. The further it is another dimension, another timeline of a different formality and a different way of how it looks. When it gets to 10,000 light years, they're like us. The Pleiadians are like us. They're just advanced. They're in the spiritual realm. They're ordained by the Anunnaki. There's a lot of entities that are ordained. Pleiadians, they meet the verge. Okay, they're 8,000 light years away. Either they're tall. The Pleiadians are tall. I would say the Caucasians. No, they're not Caucasian. They're definitely not Caucasian. They're definitely not Caucasian. They're very pale-skinned individuals, very tall, pale-skinned individuals that have gray hair, and that just matches up with how they evolved from the entities that were genetically modified by the 9 ethers. Again, it's just different dimensions, and it gets to a verge sometimes. But the Pleiadians have met it spiritually. The Pleiadians are archangels, okay? But I will say the Galactic Federation of Light is definitely a deception. They try to include the Pleiadians, but the Pleiadians are literally saying that they're deceiving us and they're ran by the reptilians. But the Pleiadians are giving us transcripts in the spiritual realm as well. It's the Pleiadians. It is some reptilians are also giving us transcripts, because again, all sorts of beings live on Nibiru, including reptilians, Dravidarians. Okay, I've seen it all. Gray Romadarians, Rizikians. All these entities, benevolent and malevolent entities, they are on Nibiru. Okay, all extraterrestrials are not evil. If they are evil, they're here. They're not in a higher presence of reality, and the only benevolent malevolent beings that are here currently in our dimension are reptilians. Reptilians, Draconian, Dravidarians. Um, See, again, Hindu beings, the Prasyons, they're actually they spliced themselves. The Prasyons, Hindu beings, spliced themselves with Dravidarians while there was a fight on the Sirius star system. And they had intercourses. The entities had intercourse, and that's how you get basically Hindu people, because some are nine ethered. It depends on it depends on the hair texture, the curliness of the hair, and we know Hindu people have straight hair, and that's just because of the splicing of Dravidarians. Um, the Dravidarians are reptilian. Nine ether beings evolved from reptilians, so I mean, it is what it is. Most reptilians are evil. They live in the Sirius, which is not far. It's only 8,000 light years away. Let's get back to the Procyons. The Procyons are not human. They're like the reptilians, basically, but they have a different mindset of the reptilians. They have a mindset that is kind of like the Pleiadians, more spiritual. So that's how, and they also have their formality, their physical attire, and their physical attire is very advanced as far as the vesseling of their capabilities. See, there's a yin and a yang as far as the just whole system of how the creation of entities are on this universe. Okay, there's not that many star systems, but there's dimensions, which breaks it up. There's good entities that use their formalities and structures of how they are in a good way, and there's some that use them in the bad way, and it's just a yin and a yang on every concept of what they are. And the Prasyons, the Hindu gods and goddesses, they have a vesseling of their body. They can turn into interdimensional entities just without spiritual manifestation. They could just do it on their own accord, and that's just because they serve a purpose in this universe. I'm pretty sure that they're been made by the Annunaki themselves, and they are here to. The Prasyons are the Hindu gods. They're archangels. They're high archangels, and they manifest the spiritual reality into something that's physical anytime you need their assistance. And I already went over how that is, but anyways, the 144,000, which is 9 ether, again, it's a connection. Everything's connected. It's a simulation. Not only a simulation, but it's a test. Those entities or those individuals are going to be granted permission to go into the higher spectrum, which is out of the matrix in the real environment. What was I going to say? Yeah, just know that everything is made for a reason, literally. Demons are here to scare you, but you have to understand that they can't scare you unless you manifest it and allow them to gather all your energy by accepting that they're scaring you. But now they can't scare you unless you say they're scaring you or you think that they're scaring you. It's not even a thought. It's just about you saying, okay, it's something that's it's an input in the simulation, to, you know, make me afraid. But again, you can't be afraid unless you give the energy to it. And the fallen angels are here to take your energy away. That's only if you allow it. The fallen angels are not real. Their inputs and their mission is to take your energy. They're not even real. And they lost their realness when they were put back into the matrix. That's how they lost their realness, because again, they were high angels, but fallen angels were kicked out and banished from the high realness of heaven. So they have become fake, and they have lost their abilities spiritually and physically. When you are banished, you are literally, you deceived your purpose. You just deceived your purpose, and you went the opposite of your purpose. And meaning, thus far, you have lost your capabilities to be in the um, spiritual realm. You have nothing. The only capability you have is to get someone else's energy, because you still understand energy and the concept of energy, and you're able to and it's not even to that point, because they're not even fucking real. It's not even, we don't even have to discuss what they're able to do, because they're not even real. They're physical. When you're physical, you're not real. You're in a simulation, because again, it's spiritual and it's physical. And you don't even have to stress and go over the fact, once it is made to that point that they're here to try to destroy you. They can't destroy you, because they're physical and you're spiritual. Spiritual always wins. The light always wins. um, when it's physical, it can't do anything. Spiritual is the regulation of the matrix. Okay, when it's physical, it is something that's not even real, because 3D is obviously binary and quantum mechanics, and quantum mechanics are computed on a system, and that system is the matrix. And when you're physical, obviously you're in the matrix. And a computer obviously is not real, because it's ran off of a generating system. But whatever is outside of the computer is real. And however you align yourself and connect yourself to it and become it, you are real. So you cannot allow something that's not real to do anything to you. Anyways, it's just very amazing. Um, 144,000 entities, spiritual entities, will be vesseled into the real world. Okay, because they have obviously conquered the test. 144,000 equals 900,000, 9 ethered beings, ninth dimension. The ninth dimension is the highest dimension. It is the real environment. It is the real environment of it's not the matrix anymore. It's the real world. Okay. So yeah, everything connects. Everything was done intentionally, and it's all planned. Okay, literally. The Anunnaki, they planned it, everything. They created everything. And they are the lords of the matrix. Okay. You have the lords, and you have the archangels, and then you have the place where they're at, and that's the Holy Trinity. You have the Father, which is the Lord. You have the Son, which is the gateway and the portal to the higher dimension. And then you have the Holy Ghost. The ghost is a spirit, because the physical world has ghosts, but they're only spirits. They're spirits. There could be malevolent spirits or benevolent spirits, but the Holy Ghost is obviously some sort of high spirit, and they're very powerful. So they're very powerful beings. Everything connects in the physical world, because it's all manifestation of nothing, and it's obviously under something bigger, and you have to crack the code to be allowed in that bigger picture. But you have to understand the concept of of the physical world and the matrix. You have to beat the system. Everyone's not. Only 144,000. So, like I said, everyone's not real. The only entities that are real are the entities that are here on purpose. What are the entities that are here for a purpose here to do? Well, they're here to regulate the matrix and destroy all of the opposite of why the purpose is, which is evil. Those are the only entities that are here that are real. Any entity that manifests positive and high presence is real. So don't panic and think that, oh, my mom's not real because, well, guess what? She's not real only if she does not possess positive high spirit, because the devil was created for a purpose. And you have to understand that the devil is not real. That's why they say the devil is a lie, because it is a lie. But again, and you only know when the person's real if they possess negative spirits. If they possess negative spirits, they're an input, they're a demon. They're obviously here to try to scare you at some point. If you allow that, I don't think you should even think about what the devil is, because the devil is not even real. And the only reason why I say they're not real is because they have lost their capabilities of the spiritual aspect of the regulation of the matrix. So they're not a soul. They can't do anything to you unless you do something and they feed off of it. And their goal is to feed off of your energy, and that's only if you allow it. Just surround yourself by entities that want to manifest positive, because every positive entity is here for a purpose, whether they're here in the beginning of it or they're here on another round. Okay, your parents, if they're positive entities, they're fucking regulators as far as I'm concerned. Okay, because you have to understand that if you are one of the 144,000, and you are in the beginning of the stage of your ascension, your parents, they're generational, so they were here before you, and they're obviously higher than whatever you're trying to become, and they could be gods, Anunnakis, literally. They could be literally Anunnakis, and the Anunnaki are the lords of the system. So that's the end of the fucking information surge. This is a good transmission, a fucking good transmission. I get my transmissions from the Anunnaki, but I'm a Procyon. Oh, I'm gonna put that picture in there. Anyways, I'm leaving. What the fuck? Where's this train at?